Welcome to Zaltechlearning. In this video tutorial we are learning about Flutter, and inside this particular video we are going to learn a navigator. We are going to learn how to use this navigator and how to transfer data using this navigator between the two screens. How to transfer data between these two screens of this emulator of our mobile device. Let's get started with our coding part. First of all, I just created one basic application in which, as you can see, I have just one material dart import, and after that we have one stateless widget, as you can see over here. Now let's friends just start to building an application. Inside this application we are going to do something like, first of all we are going to view one list view over here. Inside that list view we are going to give a list tile as an object. Whenever someone click on that object, we are going to transfer information of that list tile object to another screen, and we are going to print it on another screen. Let's just start with our basic code. To provide a class of list, first of all we have to create one class. Let's give its name as a to do. Inside this to do, first of all create two names. One is a string, and string is a title of our data, and after that use a string for our description. I am providing just a short name to title and description, and just create one here a constructor so that we can assign a value to the this dot title and this dot description. After creating this class, we just have to create one generated class to create a instance of this to do as a list. Let me tell you how to do that. First of all, if you want to get a data of as a string, let's just give a final value, so we are not going to change it. Final, and we are going to create one list equals to, here we are going to create a list of this to do class objects. Now as you can see, we are going to use this to do class object name over here in as a passing dot. Here we are going to use the generator. In generator text two arguments, first is length and second is generator. How much object of to do we are going to create? Let's just give me value of 21. We are going to generate a 21 values from here, and after that let's as a second argument is required a generator, and its generator is passing an index, and that index is given to a function. Now let's just create one return statement over here. Inside that we have to pass a constructor which is a to do constructor, and we have to pass one title. Let's pass title as a to do $i, and in a description we are going to give this is an description of $i, and let's just put comma after that. And this is not required because we are using this function operator of Dart programming language. We do not have provide anything else. And now to resolve this error, because this is not a method, we have to use comma over here. Now you can see our error will be resolved, and now we have one list object. Inside that we have a list object of 21 with a to do class inside this list. Now we are going to assign this list to a one list view inside this body. Now let's just use list view. Friends, if you don't know how to use this list view, then please watch my full series of list view to be a master inside this list view. Now to use a list view, first of all we have to provide item counts. Now we are going to provide a list of length so that we can get an item as a number of this list. List dot length, this much value we want, and after that we have to provide over here on builder. Builder required two arguments, first of all context, and after that we have one index. I teach you about all this item builder and all these things in my previous video, so I am not explaining it again and again. Here you have to return list tile. Inside this list tile we are going to provide a title to this list. Let's give a title to this list, text, and inside this text we are going to provide to do, and after that we are going to use this list to print a index. Now here we are going to press inside this text. Here you can see we have a list of this to-dos inside this list. So we are going to use list of, and now we are going to provide an index which is passed over here, and after that we are going to get an object of that title. So let's get the title over here. Now as you can see, we created one list view of this list which is we created from this to-do class. Let's just run this code so that you get the understanding how it's working. Now as you can see, our code was worked successfully. As we provided, we get a 21 list generator. As you can see, this is the 20 and it's starting from 0. But now when we are clicking on it, there is nothing will be happening, but we want that when we click here, the item of this object, titles and description will be print on some next screen. How to do that? Let's just start with here. Friends, as you know, if you want to create one new screen, we require one stateless widget. So that let's just first create one stateless widget over here. First of all, create one class. We are going to call it as a new screen, and we are going to extend stateless widget because we are not going to change this part. And let's just give a braces over here, and inside this here, friends, let's just override one build method of this so that this error will be resolved. Here you can see one missing override method, it will be done. After that, here we have to pass data of this to-do list from here to this, so that we have to create one constructor new screen. Inside this we have to provide one value as this key, and after that you have to use @required, because we must require this object of this to-do class. As you can see, this is the to-do class which object we want over here, and let's just give its name as a data. And to resolve this error, we have to pass this super key to our constructor of this widget class. Now friends, to remove this error, just remove this column, because in constructor we do not have to provide anything. Inside this, just create one variable final, because we know we are not going to change this variable, and give it name as a data. And here except of passing this data, here we are going to pass this dot data. So the data which we are going to pass here inside this tile, whenever we are going to on tap it, we are going to pass one to-do class data from there. So that, and just change this from capital to small, so this error also will be resolved. Now all the data is which we get here, this dot data. Now we have to return one we get from here. For that we are going to use scaffold. If you don't know how to use scaffold, then don't worry, I am going to explain it in my next video. You just use this for running purpose, and just do as I am doing here, so that you can also get some basic idea how to do that. Here provide one title. Inside that we are going to use, and we are going to provide second screen, and we also going to provide which second screen we are printing. For that we are going to use $, and we are going to evaluate this value data dot, and here we are going to use title, as this is the to-do method which is providing a data object of this, and after that we are going to accessing this title from there. Now let's just, our app bar is ready, and after this app bar, in scaffold we are going to provide one body, and inside this body we are going to print our description which we are passed here in to do. To provide a description over here, we are going to use center, because we are going to print it in a center, and inside this center we are going to use one child. Inside this child we are going to use a text, and let's just print $data dot, and here going to provide description, because this the data is the object of to do and it have a value of desc over here. So we are going to change it from desc description, and we are going to print this is the data on second screen. And let's just give style to this part so that we get some smaller size data, and we are going to provide here a text style. Inside this text style we are going to provide font size as 20. As you can see, our error will be resolved inside this new screen class. Now we just have to call this new class whenever someone tap this tile. To add this part you have to use onTap method of this function, while whenever this onTap method runs we are going to use navigator dot, after navigator we are going to use push, and in push we have to provide two things. First is context, and after that we have to provide a root, and inside this root, as you can say, this is a root and we are providing root as a material page root. So we are going to use here a material page root. Inside this material page root we have to pass a constructor. Let's pass a constructor to this builder, to this material root. Inside this builder we are going to call our class which we built at previously. To do that, first of all we require our context, and inside this context we are going to call our method equals to greater than. Just we created, as you can see here, a new screen which extends this stateless widget. We are going to use that part over here. New screen @ required to do, this data will must required. So now here we are going to pass this list of the index. Now you can see all error will be resolved. Let's just run this code and see what output we get. We are getting error on 35 over here. So just change this from do nothing, or you can add a comma over here. Just run this method again. Now let's just press this to do button. As you can see, as I press that to do button, as we set it inside our new screen button in stateless widget, the app bar is displaying that second screen data.title to do 0, because we are clicked on this to do 0. Let's just click this to do 5. You can see second screen to do 5, and in this we are printing this. This is the data on second screen with $data.description, and you can see we passed the data that to do $i, and this is the description of $i. And you can see here the data on second screen, and this $description is this is the description of 5. This is all about this navigation, how to use this navigation and how to create a navigation using navigator in our list view. As you can see, this kind of information is required to push a navigator inside this context, and after that you have to use this material page root. We also have some common information to pass whenever we building this material app. You also can see whenever I print, as you can see, this roots is also available to pass inside this material app. We are going to see this part in our next video. Thank you friends, thank you for watching this video. We just applied our application to this method, and if you like this video then do like to my channel, and if you want some more videos on Flutter document or in Flutter how to get some navigator using these roots in material app, then do subscription to my channel, and please share this video to your groups of friends with technical knowledge. Thank you friends, thank you for watching this video.